allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you to the Sun Valley High School JROTC. Yes. Okay. Next up is the approval of the agenda.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I know. Thank you. Next up is the John H. Crowder Service Award. John Kirkpatrick.
For over 3 decades, John H. Crowder dedicated his life to supporting the youth of Union County. In honor of his enduring contributions and lasting impact, the Union County Board of Education presents the John H. Crowder Service Award every month to recognize exceptional high school students who actively contribute to their school and community. Recipients of this award excel academically and possess a well-established track record of community involvement. Tonight, we award the October John H. Crowder Service Award to a Sun Valley High School senior. Annabeth Tamales, a student council member, has devoted countless hours to her school and community, helping raise $20,000 annually for the Children's Holiday Project, benefiting 20 Union County families each holiday season. She is president of the National Honor Society and the National Spanish Honor Society. In addition, Annabeth is part of the National Beta Club, National English Honor Society, National Athletic Honor Society, Rho Kappa, Green Team, Fellowship of Christian Athletes, and the Interclub Council. Annabeth is on track to be one of the first students to earn a biliteracy global seal, having started in the district's inaugural Spanish dual language immersion program in 2012. She has led bilingual story time at the local library, tutored younger students, and traveled to Costa Rica to deliver school supplies to a rural school, all thanks to the program. Annabeth has co-founded a club for children with special needs in the local elementary and middle schools with her best friend and classmate from the DLI program. The club, Español Especial, empowers children with special abilities through the joy of learning Spanish. By nurturing a love for the Spanish language, they aim to enhance communication skills, promote cultural understanding, and celebrate each child's unique talents. Annabeth plays varsity soccer for the school and plays club soccer locally for the Wesley Chapel Weddington Athletic Association. During the summer, she volunteers at the association's soccer camps and is a certified soccer referee in the county. Annabeth also teaches swimming at Charlotte's Aquatics. She works with special needs swimmers in the Awesome Fish program, specifically designed for children with autism, and was also selected as part of their management's leadership university program. Annabeth volunteers with Special Olympics as an athlete buddy and with the transition to adulthood prom. She also serves on the Superintendent Student Advisory Council. Annabeth plans to attend a 4-year university and major in sports management. Board members and everybody assembled today, Please join in congratulating Annabeth Tamales as the October 2024 recipient of the John H. Crowder Service Award. There you go. Congratulations. Please enjoy life. You're doing a great job. Great job.
Wow.
I know, that's awesome.
Madam Chair,
Next is recognition.
Madam Chair, that
oh,
might
sorry.
have to be the most profound,
Go ahead. Go.
profound and prolific winner of the John H. Crowder Award ever. That's awesome.
Do you sleep?
Next up is recognitions. Dr. Plouffe.
Good evening. We are thrilled to shine a spotlight on two remarkable employees who have earned the title of UCPS Influencers for October. This program honors the enthusiasm, commitment, and outstanding work ethic of UCPS staff members who consistently put in extra effort each day. What makes this recognition special is that it is the result of nominations from our staff, students, family, and community members. These are the people who see firsthand the positive impact these employees have on students and their peers. I am honored to present Jessica Miller, a language arts teacher at Parkwood Middle, and Karen Baucom, data manager at Unionville Elementary. I will now invite the nominators to the podium to read the submission and recognize their honorees' accomplishments. Jennifer Schwenk, can you please come up here?
Follow on that. Good evening. I am Jennifer Schwenk, an AIG language arts teacher at Parkwood Middle. Miss Miller, please come forward and join me. Miss Miller's dedication to student achievement is shown through her tutoring of multi-tiered system support students, inventive lesson plans, and mentoring new teachers. Her impact extends beyond the classroom, cultivating a supportive and motivating atmosphere for students and colleagues, including myself. As a new teacher at Parkwood, Ms. Miller has dedicated numerous hours outside of school helping with Canvas, lesson planning, and supporting her colleagues. In addition to excelling in teaching, Ms. Miller demonstrates a true love for administration and a commitment to student growth. Her hard work has not only enhanced the learning experience of students, but also greatly contributed to the overall success of her students. I firmly believe that Ms. Miller's exceptional contributions merit formal acknowledgement, and I sought to ensure that her dedication and efforts receive the highest level of recognition. Her endeavors have had a lasting positive influence on our students and the wider school community. Thank you.
Good evening. Good evening. I'm Jill Fagala, school nurse at Unionville Elementary, and I am pleased to welcome Karen Baucom from Unionville Elementary to the podium. Karen inspires all who meet her because of her positive attitude, her dedication to her school, and her work ethic. She is our data manager, but she wears many hats, and she wears them well. She is committed to her position, but she is so willing to help others and the school wherever there is a need. She's our contact person for transportation questions and concerns every day. She's a yearbook coordinator. She also serves on our emergency care team. I'm truly not sure how our team could manage without her. She has the sweetest disposition and can make you feel and anyone feel that no matter how bad the situation is, everything's going to be okay. Her smile brightens everyone's day, and your day will be changed for the positive if you're lucky enough to have a moment with her as well. Everyone's school needs a Karen, but please leave her because we love her. Congratulations.
I will now read the UCPS Influencers Proclamation from the Board of Education and Dr. Ulan. Whereas the Union County Board of Education values the hard work of each employee within the district, whereas the performance is an essential part of district operations, whereas Jessica Miller and Karen Baucom exemplify the performance, dedication, and teamwork essential to the success of the district and its students. Now, therefore, we, the Board of Education for Union County Public Schools, and Dr. Andrew G. Houlihan, Superintendent, hereby proclaim Jessica Miller and Karen Baucom as the UCPS influencers for the month of October 2024. Congratulations on this outstanding honor, and thank you for all that you do to be a positive influence on others each and every day.
Okay, next up is public comments. At every regular meeting of the board, up to 60 minutes have been allotted for public comments. The board will not respond to public comments. However, a member may ask that the chair obtain clarification. Residents, parents, students, and employees of the district will receive prior to on the list of speakers. If a speaker is not present when his or her name is called, the opportunity to speak will be considered waived. Only persons signed up may speak. Speakers may not give their time to another person or have someone speak on their behalf. Speakers may address the board for a maximum of 3 minutes. The board will not hear an open session, complaints about the performance of school personnel issues, confidential student issues. Should a speaker wish to seek information or share items that may not be shared during public comments, members of UCPS cabinet staff are able to address your concerns or provide information. Captain staff members are seated at the table to my left. First up is Liz Holmes.
Can you hear me? Oh, hi. My name's Liz Holmes Baxter. I'm running for school board. Nice to meet everyone here today. I wanted to talk about an issue. First and foremost, I definitely want to make sure that I mention that we're thinking of all of Western North Carolina communities this time with the devastation of Hurricane Helene. I wanted to take a moment to talk about an issue that is threatening the very foundation of our public education system, vouchers and HB 10. On the surface, the vouchers may seem like a way to give families more choice in education, but in reality, they siphon critical funds away from our public schools. And when we divert public tax dollars to private institutions, we undermine the ability of our public schools to provide quality education for all of our students. Vouchers don't just affect one classroom. They impact every student in our public schools by reducing the resources available to teachers, staff, and other essential programs. This creates a two-tiered education system where only those who can afford it truly benefit, further widening the gap of inequity between those with privilege and those that are the most vulnerable and marginalized. It's time for better accountability of the school board at the school board level and beyond. Gary Sides mentioned a few meetings ago about his stance on vouchers, but where is the rest of that energy from this board? We need to ensure that our public schools and our tax dollars are invested in improving public education, not in lining pockets of private interests. We need representatives that will fight against these efforts and hold our leaders at all levels accountable. This is about the future of our children and of our communities. And we need to stop this erosion of public education and advocate for an equitable, fully funded school system that works for all students and pays our teachers what they deserve. But I think you already know all of this. So with that, I just ask of you that you use your voice and speak up against HB 10. Thanks.
Next up is Pamela Carlton.
Good evening, members of the board. Dr. Houlihan left. Cabinet members, I am Pamela Carlton, also a teacher here at Union County Public Schools. I just want to say that I currently teach EC at Sandy Ridge Elementary School. So I know the impact that this can have on public schools. So I'm going to read from my little script. And so anyway, I'm currently serving as the proud president of the Union County Association of Educators, which is affiliated with in Raleigh. For years, anti-public school politicians have underfunded our schools and then told us that those schools are broken. I'm here to say that's disrespectful to the thousands of public school educators who are doing amazing things, and especially here in Union County as well, every day. There's no more insidious way for them to tear down our public schools than through the guise of private school vouchers. The rhetoric around vouchers would make you think that they care about the needy kids who can't catch a break. But in North Carolina, their plan is to give everyone a voucher, regardless of a need or family income. The plan currently being debated in our state legislature will give away thousands of dollars in tuition assistance to every millionaire, billionaire, or wealthy family with kids already enrolled in private school, and is nothing more than a direct attack on local public schools. State lawmakers want to spend an extra $500 million this year and $4 billion over the next decade on their voucher schemes. I say our students would be better off if we spent that extra $500 million on public schools in Union County and around the state. Public dollars belong in public schools, and we do it every single day. That's why we're here. It's not for the money. It's because we care about our students. The stealing of our public dollars to send to private schools, to me, is not just an education issue. It's a civil rights issue. Unlimited private school vouchers are a way to separate the haves from the have-nots who count on public schools locally. We have families who depend on us. Excuse me, sorry. It is an attack on families that rely on public schools. It is a step towards the resegregation of our schools and a retreat from the idea that public education provides an opportunity for every child, brown, black, or white, rich or poor. Without public schools, leveling the playing field in this country can be truly called ourselves free. Can we really call ourselves free? No, we can't.
Thank you. Next up is Nylan White.
Good evening. My name is Nyla White, and I'm a current junior at Union County Early College. I went through the dual language immersion program at Sun Valley Elementary and have attended both Sun Valley and Weddington Middle Schools. I stand before you tonight as a recipient of the portion of a graduate award for effective communication for my school. And I would simply like to communicate and articulate my thoughts about the feelings, about the North Carolina voucher program from the student perspective. While I am a Union County Public School student and a South Piedmont Community College student, I know that this board represents and makes decisions for 41,000 students across 53 schools. I also know that the North Carolina voucher program plans to eliminate $100 million from the public education sector and will cost the state more than $270 million in just the first year. $675,920,370 is what you all are expected to spend this fiscal year. This budget was approved on November 8th, 2023, and approximately $130 million of that amount is from the state of North Carolina. These funds are spent on students, teachers, faculty, leadership and development, facilities, athletic directors, and a plethora of things that this county relies on. If this funding for public schools wasn't so necessary, there wouldn't be people fighting this hard to get you to take a public stance on the fact that you do not support it as individuals who represent students in public school. From the student perspective, there's no reason why females should have been getting locked in the facilities at my school for 3 years before it was ever addressed and fixed. This is where the money should be going to. This allocated funding should be going towards Title I schools and supporting students, not towards private schools that are already funded through tuition, donors, and sponsors. As a student who attends a locally and state-funded early college, I urge you all, individually and as a collective board, to take a stance on this issue and advocate for public education dollars being kept in public schools. Thank you.
Next up is Reagan Shaw.
I'm humbled by the previous speakers tonight that did such an incredible job of explaining why we're here and the gravity of what we're facing. I think especially at this moment in North Carolina, thinking about the most vulnerable people in our society and what they are fairly owed with our taxpayer dollars it's so important that we get this right. I cannot see how there would be anything more important than that you could do in your time as a school board member that would be as important as this moment for you to speak out about what's going on. We're talking at least $500 million a year out of our taxpayer funds getting put into private schools. And that's money that we so desperately need. Recently, I've seen a lot of the more impoverished parts of our county. It's been very eye-opening for me. And I think just trying to understand the resources that these schools must need. My sister was an EC teacher. She had to leave the profession when she moved to North Carolina. She couldn't afford to live on that salary. She struggled so much. My mother is a public school teacher. I know what the job entails. I know how hard it is. And to see how poorly our teachers are paid in this state is really depressing. And the most important thing that you guys can do is to make sure that this huge, historic defunding of public education in North Carolina does not happen any further than it already has. It is a massive, massive tectonic plate that is shifting within our society. Education is the foundation of our society, and when we are going to destroy the foundations of public education, we are in trouble. And our schools are already struggling. We are 48th in the nation, 48th in the nation in per pupil spending. In public school funding effort, we're 50th, last in public school funding effort. That's how much we spend per GDP. It is time for you guys to speak up, and we say it over and over again. There's just no excuse not to. It's your job as a school board member. You cannot protect your Republican overlords any longer. You cannot silence what they're doing. You're providing them cover, and it's just unconscionable.
Next up, Sarah Jewell.
Well, it's going to be hard to speak behind everyone. I'm not a good speaker like that. I'm not going to repeat what everyone said. I'm just going to come from my experience. I come from a very affluent area of Weddington. We don't have these kind of problems, but we still have problems, which is crazy. I've been up here speaking about the same things. I spoke about this almost 15 years ago, which is hard to believe. The only difference then was the parents and the school board sued the county commissioners for not funding our schools properly. They were aligned. It was a different time. The parents and the Board of Education were totally aligned. We need a school board that supports public schools and fights for our schools, not a board that is only worried about upward political mobility, and they are not holding their friends in office accountable. I'm tired of it. I don't understand why you're on the school board if you're not advocating for public schools. It's just like mind-boggling. I don't understand it. It's crazy. What I've heard lately at Antioch Elementary are the same problems I heard. I remember when they built the school, it was like this white building on Mars. It was red clay, no playground, no trees, nothing. We fundraised for all that. But you can't fundraise out of everything. Even in the affluent community, they complain. They have children that are running off the playground. Still, that was a problem, like I said, 10 years ago. So, like, where are the fences? There's feral dogs in Union County. That's a big problem we have here. Like, why are these still a problem? Like, and this is an affluent community. Like, I can't even imagine the Title I schools, the issues they have. So it's like, I'm just really confused. I don't understand why you run for school board when you don't advocate for schools. I guess that's all I have to say, is I'm just confounded by this board. And I really wish I would hear you guys speak out. I would love it. I would back you. I would be so proud of you. I'd be thankful. I'm not here just to fight with people. I don't really like that. I mean, I'm really proud of our schools, but I really don't know how these teachers come to work every day and feed their families. UCPS is the #1 employer in the county. #1. And we're not paying our staff and teachers. I just don't understand it. Thank you.
Jen Sanders.
So, good evening. You guys all got a sticker. That actually wasn't for me, but I'll take credit for that. Thank you, Meg. So I just wanted to start because there's a lot going on. Obviously, you know, vouchers are the main conversation today. HB 10 was passed. Then it was vetoed by Governor Cooper. And look, yes, he vetoed it, but the GOP has already said that they will wait until after the elections to overturn that veto because they know that it is not a popular bill, that people are not happy that public funds are going to private schools out of our public education dollars. So we do need to recognize that this is our chance. We have one chance left to hold our elected officials accountable and tell them publicly as a school board, as a unified school board, that we do not want them to take the money from our public schools to give it to the voucher program. They covered 54,000 families this last budget. And it was a mini budget, and connected to that mini budget, they added ICE, which is where, you know, our sheriffs have to work with ICE for immigrants and whatnot. I'm not quite sure how that connects to public education, but somehow that got connected. But you know what was not added to that bill? The raise. The teachers were supposed to get an 8.8% raise, then they lowered it to 4.4% raise, and now in this mini budget, zero raise. And so we stand up here every month, and I know you're sick and tired of hearing about it, but every month we ask you to advocate for teachers. We ask you to publicly hold our elected officials accountable. And the reason why is because you are the voice of every one of the students here. 41,000 students, 5,000 employees, 100,000 parents, families that live here, invest in the community. So I just wanted to bring that up again, even though we bring it up every month. I would hope that instead of getting angry at us, that you actually work with us. Because we go to legislation. Reagan and I have been to Raleigh 4 times this last year to fight for teachers. 4 times. I don't understand how you guys aren't trying to team up with people to say, hey, what can we do to help this situation? And I appreciate that we do the most of the little bit amount of money. That shouldn't be the answer. We're #2 in the state right now. And yes, I am running for school board because I saw a need. We need transparency is really what I'm trying to say. We need a board that is willing to be transparent with the people and actually communicate. And I understand you're in the back rooms You're doing what you're doing, that's fine. But when you come out here, you need to keep us informed and tell us what is happening. Because right now, we don't think you're doing anything. You say you talk to elected officials, but then prove it. Say it out loud. Thank you.
Archie Hansley.
Good evening, board members, Dr. Houlihan. Visitors, I stand before you again. I think, tonight I don't want to be redundant, but yes, I'm standing here before you as far as the school voucher program. And I've just been very observant. Union County Public Schools is what this decal says across the front of these tables. That's what UCPS stands for. So being elected officials, I would first like to ask you, why did you run for office if you're not going to support the students in this county in public schools? Did you do it for your friends? Did you do it for clout? Did you do it as a stepping stone to run for the school board, then move to county commissioners, hopefully move for the state, and then cut the very funds out for the schools that you said you actually supported? And I'm looking at some of the faces of you right now, and the arrogance just precedes the room. It really does. And the reason it does, because some of you that are running for re-election, you don't think you need the votes of certain people. So when you take on that attitude, we get the responses that we get. And how do I know? Because you won't even come out and talk to the constituents in the community about what's going on in the school system. So if I was really there for students, I would make every effort that I could to actually talk to individuals in the school system about what's going on in the school system. And we don't have to have these types of meetings because you think it's a us against them. Well, it's not a us against them. I don't know who you support, but I support every black, brown, red, green, white, tan student in this county who is not being justly educated. And my question is, I'm reminded back during COVID, I sat in this room, different people to an extent, and we talked about the clout and the influence that we had with the state board when it came to wearing masks during COVID. Oh, we touted that influence. Where is that influence now? Where is the influence now? What we do, we hide behind the desk, we hide behind the vest of law enforcement because we don't want to deal with any type of confrontation, and it can be harmless. These are parents, these are grandparents, we're taxpayers. We're taxpayers, and God knows I paid my share here in Union County. I've had 3 students to come through. But it's not about my students. It's for the students who cannot advocate for themselves, for the parents who cannot advocate for themselves. But you can. You took an oath. I don't care that you're Republican. I don't care that you're Democratic. I don't care that you're independent. You took an oath to serve this Union County public school system. And what I'm asking you to do tonight is let our legislators know that here in Union County, we don't stand for school vouchers. How many more young ladies are going to be able to stand up here tonight and receive that John Crowder Award? At the rate we're going, the school system is going to bust, and that will no longer be an option. Thank you very much.
That's it. Can I say? Next up is to minutes from September 5th minutes.
Move.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I know. Next up is consent agenda.
So move, Madam Chair. Consent
Thank you. Give a second. Oh, John did. Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Next up is superintendent's report.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Good evening, board, and good evening, team UCPS. I want to start this evening by offering my thoughts, prayers, support to our colleagues and neighbors in Western North Carolina who were impacted by Hurricane Helene. Many of our schools and community members have already reached out to my office and many of our offices to commit to fundraising efforts to help bring more resources to those devastated areas. I would ask if anyone wants to donate or participate in that relief fund effort, we encourage you to contact your local school. Many of our schools are partnering with the Red Cross and the North Carolina Disaster Relief Fund, as well as many other agencies Also, please follow information from the Union County Sheriff's Office. They will be actually relocating supplies and materials with their deputies, making several trips to the western part. So please continue to all keep those impacted communities in our thoughts and prayers. Next is October is National Principals Appreciation Month. We have some of the best principals in the state of North Carolina and in the country, and we are extremely blessed to have their leadership in UCPS. They are hardworking, dedicated, and put kids first. And I'd like to ask our board and public, please join me this evening in honoring our school leaders tonight. Thank you. Throughout the month of October, there will be recognitions from our team and shout outs on our social media pages. As we get closer to Election Day, please remind our public that in our community that there is a school bond on the ballot. As a reminder, it is a $39 million bond package for pre-construction at Parkwood High School and a relocation project for East Union Middle School. On October 14th at 6 p.m., we will hold a Facebook Live event to talk about the bond with the general public. Staff will share information about each project and answer any questions that might come up. Please visit our website and click on School Bond to learn more about our needs. And finally, Read With You is back. We will kick off our community program the week of October 14th. We need volunteers to read with our first and second graders for at least 30 minutes each week. If you want to volunteer at any of our 12 Title I schools, please be sure to register as a volunteer on our website under the Connect tab. Board members, this concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up is the NCSBA 2024 voting delegates. We need up to 4 members to attend on Monday, November 18th. Can anyone go? You'll go, Gary? Who? John? Okay. What? We have to make a motion.
Have you seen the timetable? Are they going to have the vote in the afternoon so it could be a one-day, up
Yes.
and back? You don't have to stay overnight?
That's true.
Have we seen
Yes,
the?
We don't have to.
Okay. Okay. That's, yeah, you just up and back.
I can do it.
Yeah, we have that thing, yeah. Okay. Anybody else? You can too, Sandra? Okay, yeah. Okay. So Sandra and Gary? Anybody else? Thank you. We need a motion to send them to the,
I'll make a motion
no,
that,
you can't.
I can't
Yes.
because I'm part of
Jimmy's
going.
gonna do it, yes, yes.
Well, you getting it all in, ain't you?
Yeah.
What was the name?
It's, the delegate,
No, no.
yeah, the
Gary.
delegates for the NCBSA. So Gary and Sandra.
Make a motion that board members Gary Sides and Sandra Green attend the 2024 session of the North Carolina State Board of Association.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Now, next up is policies and AGs for review.
Yes, good evening, members of the board. Before you are 3 policies and 1 administrative guideline for review. If you have any questions, I'm glad to try and answer them. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Next up is board comments.
Madam Chair, good evening to you and to everybody else. I'm hoping that tonight we have all been able to hear the concern of our community in regards to the voucher program and how it is affecting all students here in our county. And I believe that the concerns have been exemplified tonight, the passion, acknowledging that all of our schools in Union County need support. But we all know that those that are Title I schools really, really need the support. When we look at the challenges of these schools, there's a whole lot of layers that can be peeled back as pertains to the challenges of these Title I schools, which what has caused them to become Title I schools. But tonight, I appreciate every comment that has been shared tonight, and I hope that we can have a conversation to create a resolution or what have you, as it was done during COVID, when many were wanting to disband, I think I can use that term, the mask wearing or what have you. And we created, and those who supported signed it, and those who didn't sign it. But I hope that we can have a conversation about that, because I know that all of us around this table, we are concerned about public schools. We're concerned about every student, even if we don't have students in these schools. I know all of us are concerned, and I have said publicly my concern for public schools and me being against vouchers and what have you. And I hope that we will be able to create some type of proposal, resolution, or what have you, to let the state of North Carolina know that we are a county that's not in support of we are not in support of causing our public schools, who we are called to serve, not to be funded, especially our teachers and what have you. They need to be funded. I worked as a TA for many years and a tutor from Mecklenburg County to Union County. So I understand the hardship that teachers experience. And I promise you, some people feel like teachers and educators make a lot of money, but they don't. They do it because they love it. And at the end of the day, love does not pay the bills. So we got to really look at that. So again, thank you guys for everything that was shared tonight. And that's it.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I want to thank everyone who showed up to discuss the issue of funding for public schools. And I assure you that it did not go unregistered with this board. As many of you know, this is my next to last meeting on this board. December 2nd, I will be sworn in as one of your county commissioners. I did not feel appropriate to have my remarks tonight, but at the next meeting, my last meeting, I intend to disclose, if you will, my philosophy as far as public education in this county, and my hope as a county commissioner, what I will be able to accomplish with the help of my colleagues. So I would ask if your schedule does not permit coming in person, to tune in, because I will be prepared to make public commitment what my goals will be to accomplish as one of your 5 county commissioners. Thank you.
The Strategic Planning, Information Technology, and Transportation Committee meeting is scheduled for September 23rd at 8 a.m. if needed. October 23rd.
Facilities will follow that at 9 a.m. on October 23rd, and then curriculum is at 10 a.m., both via Zoom.
So moved, Madam Chair, tonight's session.
Second.
All right.